Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wyld. Today we are talking about catering orders on Grubhub. So if you have been in the gig economy for any period of time, you know that catering orders and larger orders are the highest paying orders, not for the amount that the company pays you, although I'm sure it's boosted to a certain degree, but the amount of tip you will receive from said delivery, which obviously is going to be so much more than any of these smaller orders, but that also assumes you're dealing with a good customer, but that's not the point. So today I want to go over everything you must know about Grubhub catering orders, what they tell you versus how it actually is, and everything in between. But before we do that, let's go over a quick disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that everything I'm going to be going over in this video is a very market dependent thing. So what applies to me in my market may not apply to you. So with that said, let's get started. How do catering offers work? If you're currently toggled on to accept orders, both current and future catering orders will appear at the top of your screen the same way all other offers appear. If you are currently not available to accept offers, you will either receive a pop-up notification in the Grubhub for Drivers app, or you will be contacted directly by a Grubhub dispatcher if future offers are available. Yeah, so this is a very interesting thing about Grubhub in particular in terms of the catering orders available, and that is catering orders on Grubhub are not just sent to you when you're online. They can be sent to you through a pop-up notification in the Drivers app, whether you're online or not, or you get contacted by a Grubhub dispatcher. Like, that's actually happened to me before, where I've actually received an order, declined it because it was a Grubhub catering order, and then I got called by Grubhub directly about that specifically. So it's not unheard of for them to contact you. They're gonna try to get this order accepted regardless. A few things to note: you may need to toggle available in order to accept the future offer. Remember to toggle unavailable once you've accepted the offer, otherwise you will be available to receive current in the moment offers. Now, if you're anything like me, you're basically on all the time. So if you're anything like me, don't even worry about that. You have approximately 15 minutes to accept or decline the offer before it is sent to a different driver. And yeah, they give you a lot more time to actually decide if you want a catering order in comparison to that of a normal order. Rejecting a future offer will not impact your acceptance rate or program level, which is so odd because they send it to you like a normal delivery. They make you think it's like a normal delivery, and then out of nowhere, it's not exactly a normal delivery. Where can I see future offers in the app? You can always view all of your tasks, current and future, in the tasks section of the Grubhub for Drivers app. Now, at the moment, I don't have any catering order specifically, but the way you would do it is that you would actually start at your task menu, which is probably your home page. You'll go to this like semicolon hamburger menu in the top right corner, click it, and it would actually be on the task list there. Also, if you're on a delivery, it'll just be on your task screen. Why am I unable to tap got order? In order for you to mark that you've picked up the order, you will first need to use the order items checklist to verify that you have all the items. Yeah, so when you're actually picking up the order, you're gonna have to go through the checklist line by line to make sure that you have everything. They're very particular about that. Unlike with Doordash or UberEats, where they don't really want you to look through everything, Grubhub wants you to actually go through it with the person and say, okay, what do we got? We got this, this. Okay, we're good to go. Have a good one. Which makes sense in some areas, but in others, it's like, come on. This is just making more work for somebody when it's not necessary. Do I need to be working a scheduled block in order to receive catering orders? No. However, since catering orders are generally scheduled in advance, they will be first offered to catering eligible drivers who are scheduled on a block. Here's how this works. You're going to have a strong amount of priority for certain drivers more than others. So if you're a premier driver who are the quote-unquote catering eligible drivers who are scheduled on block, you're going to have a lot more opportunity to accept catering orders than somebody who is off block cherry picking the whole time. Does that mean you will not be accepting orders that are catering? Does that mean you will never receive a catering order if you're a cherry picker? No. I mean, I'm a cherry picker and I've received them, but understand it's gonna go to them first, the more committed Grubhub people who are taking almost every order, who are premier drivers, before it ends up going to a cherry picker who's off block. And if you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of a premier driver, I made a video talking all about the program levels. I will leave that in the description. Feel free to check it out. Will I get catering offers if I'm working a scheduled block? Yes. Once you toggle on to take offers, you will be eligible for all types of orders, including catering orders. If you have a catering order pre-scheduled, you will not receive any offers starting 45 minutes before the pickup time. This should give you time to complete your previous order and get to the restaurant regardless of your location. Now, you see, 45 minutes seems like a lot. I mean, I get why they have it like that, but I've seen other catering apps and they give like 30 minutes to actually get from where you are to the location. And even then, that feels like a lot. So 45 minutes? That's like, you're trying to make the driver wait. Like, you're basically saying, all right, this is gonna be your hour. So if I were you, I don't care if you're working a scheduled block or not, I would make sure I have multiple apps available, because 45 minutes is way too much in my opinion. I've received an individual order during my scheduled block for a catering order. What do I do? Keep going. In the event you receive a conflicting offer or an offer that will not allow you to get to your scheduled delivery on time, tap "There's a problem" at the bottom of your screen in the Grubhub for Drivers app. This will generate a list of topics that may help and will direct you to the appropriate contact for assistance. Now, what I find interesting about this is basically they're trying to tell you to unassign the individual order so you can get to the catering order. But that being said, that is so weird to me. You will let people take an order 45 minutes before a scheduled block. Is that because you know that you have an insane amount of wait time for your app, but because of that, you're not really willing to work on that, so you're just dealing with it? That's pretty messed up, man. Like, we schedule these blocks because we know we need them in order to receive orders. And you're basically cutting off 45 minutes of the 1 hour scheduled block. That's just messed up. And if you don't know what I'm talking about in terms of scheduled blocks, I made a video talking about that as well. I'll leave that in the description. Feel free to check that out. What is the difference between a current catering offer and a future catering offer? There are two types of catering orders: current orders and future orders. A current order is the real-time offers you are accustomed to as a Grubhub delivery partner. These orders are offered to be completed immediately. A future order, on the other hand, is offered to you to be completed at a later time or date. Please note, once accepted, a future offer becomes an active current offer 90 minutes before the estimated delivery time. Okay, that's even worse in my opinion. 90 minutes? We got 45 minutes and then you're never receiving offers, and then 45 minutes when you're actually ready to go to the restaurant? Just wow, man. That's like insane amount of wait time. If I reject a future offer, will it impact my acceptance rate? Nope. Rejecting a future offer will not impact your acceptance rate or program level. However, catering orders may be offered to drivers in real time, just like all other offers. Rejecting these offers will impact your acceptance rate the same as any other offer. So a future offer will not impact your acceptance rate. A current offer will. What do I do if I can no longer deliver a scheduled future order that I've accepted? If you can no longer deliver a future offer that you previously accepted, please let us know as soon as possible so we can get the order assigned to a new driver. You could do this by selecting the schedule order from your task list and then tapping the "there's a problem" button. Yeah, so that is that little semicolon hamburger menu I told you about. Please note you could drop a future offer without penalty while it's still a future order. Once you've been notified to pick up the food, the order becomes active. As with any other offer, if you assign an active offer, it will impact your acceptance rate percentage. This goes back to the point of whether or not you accept or decline a future offer. Keep in mind the rating system for Grubhub specifically, the acceptance rate and completion rate are the same thing. So it's going to affect your ratings if you unassign the same way as if you were to decline the offer entirely. How do I know if I'm eligible to deliver a catering order? Delivering a catering order takes additional planning and care. These orders not only involve handling a large amount of food, but also require the driver to enter business establishments, interact with multiple people in those offices, and set up food for the diner per their specifications. The needs of our catering diners require that drivers who make catering deliveries maintain a high acceptance rate and on-time rate. Be willing to take the time and care required to fulfill diner expectations, and be comfortable carrying lots of food up or down to an office or in a large building. If you have questions about catering and large order availability within your market, you can submit them to our team using this form. I'm going to leave the form in the description, so if you need to ask questions, you can. Note what they said there. You need a high acceptance rate and on-time rate. You basically need to be a premier driver in order to actually be eligible for catering orders, at least on a priority level. If you're not a high priority driver, then you're probably not going to be accepting as many offers that are catering anyway. It's not like you won't get them, it's just they're not going to be as frequent, if that makes sense. Should I arrive early to the diner to set up? No. Catering and large orders have designated delivery times that were intentionally chosen by their diner. These orders are often for unique situations that require exact timing, like having fresh food available for participants during a break in the presentation or team lunch. Arriving early may also mean the room in which they'd like you to set up the food is currently not available. Yeah, that's the one thing about catering delivery that I feel like a lot of people don't get. It's that it's not an on-demand service, it's a scheduled time. The order should be there when people are ready, and that's why they're gonna be the ones scheduling it, and you're gonna have to work to their schedule, which is why you need to have a strong amount of time management skills in order to actually complete these deliveries. How is the pay calculated for catering offers? The pay is calculated the same way for both catering and non-catering orders. However, catering offers are often large orders with much larger tips. They're not gonna give you more base pay. The point is that you're gonna be eligible for higher tipped offers, assuming that the people tipping are good people. If they're not good people, they shouldn't be on the platform, but that's not the point. Now, I do have a couple of side notes that I would like to go over on this particular subject. No bags required. Now, I don't know if you noticed the way they were saying everything there, but not once did they tell you that you needed a specific type of bag. Does that mean you don't need to bring any bags? I would actually argue you need to have catering bags available at all times, because you don't know when you're gonna need them, and you don't know if the restaurant is even going to have the boxes necessary for you to actually carry everything. Actually, one time there was a restaurant that gave me a catering order in a bunch of grocery bags. I had to put them in the catering bag so that way I'm not juggling a bunch of bags and trying to bring everything in like a kid trying to bring in groceries. I put it all in the catering bag and I brought it in that way. So I would actually recommend you have a bunch of catering bags available in your car, just in case they don't hook you up. Don't compromise your standards. Look, I don't care if it's a catering order or a not catering order. If the order itself is showing that they don't have a good payout, not only would I tell you not to take it, I would tell you not to schedule it, especially. Because why would you schedule yourself the next day for a single normal order that is going to pay less than what you would normally take on a normal order. That just doesn't make sense. I'm all for guaranteeing a certain amount of money for the next day, but not like that. That just doesn't make sense to me. Still not as good as multi-apping. Like I said, catering orders on Grubhub is not a multi-apping friendly system. Like they said, it's going to go to the people who have strong priority in their area. Who's going to have strong priority? Premier drivers, pro drivers. People who are cherry picking and multi-apping are not going to have super high priority on this subject. So, do I think that's a bad catering program? I mean, I'm not really sure. I've never really been a Grubhub enthusiast, I guess you could call it. But if you're comparing, contrasting the Grubhub catering program to the Doordash large order program and catering program, they're like apples and oranges. It's like night and day. Not to mention the Grubhub tips actually shrink as the orders get larger. So, and I'm saying shrink in terms of the actual percentage in which the customer is tipping. So it is probably going to be better off for you as a driver to not prioritize Grubhub catering deliveries over multi-apping. Now, if you get them and it's a good order, great. I'm excited for you. But again, don't prioritize it. Did I miss anything? Is there something else about Grubhub catering orders that I did not cover in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that everybody who is on the Grubhub platform, who's considering going into the Grubhub catering program, knows exactly what they're going to get into, so that way they can maximize the real value of the program itself. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.